This is Travis Healy, and you're listening to the Fog Warrior Podcast. What you're about to hear isn't entertainment. It's a field manual, read aloud. Written for the men walking through fog. For those who've been lied to, numbed out, or left behind. Each word is meant to cut through noise and bring you back to the fight worth showing up for. Today I'm reading directly from the perspective of 3, a Stoic field manual for the modern man. No spin, no theatrics, just the truth, one page at a time. Introduction: The day we all failed. We were urban operators, as our teacher called us, in training, 10 years in the making. Our bodies had been broken and bruised. We'd been taught to strike with precision, to move without thought, to own the moment. And now, that moment had come. A week before our big test, our teacher, Tom, a Vietnam veteran and retired Marine sniper, gave us the outline. 10 time scenarios, both armed and unarmed, each of which must be passed in under 3 seconds. Getting knocked out would be an instant failure. For each of us, we would face 2 opponents, behind closed doors. We wouldn't know what to expect until the moment struck. Life is a lot like that. Doors and surprises. The week before the test felt like a war in and of itself. In preparation, each of us went into isolation. Meditating, shadow fighting, reviewing what we had been taught, talking trash to our own fears. We charged ourselves up like warriors walking into an ancient battle, certain of victory, rage-filled, ready to rock. Then came the moment. Each of us entered that testing environment pumped up on adrenaline and self-assurance. For the test, I was allowed to wear a head cage, MMA gloves, my street clothes, and nothing more. We waited in an adjoining room of the testing area, separated from the action in motion, hearing scenarios being executed on the tested student just beyond the wall. Clashes, grunts, the thud of flesh on armor, armor on flesh. We couldn't see what was coming. We could only disappear, one at a time, into the unknown when our names were called. The student who had completed their test was ushered into another room, out of the waiting combatants' view. Those of us who waited could only listen, only imagine what was coming. When it was my turn, I stepped into the room. My teacher stood to the side with a clipboard, whistle, and a timer, stone-faced. 2 senior instructors, fully geared up in modified kendo armor, faced me like sentinels, stoically determined, an assortment of training weapons within their reach. The first scenario was briefly described, then my teacher thundered, "Begin." I fought. I reacted. I did what I had trained to do. It all happened fast, and it was a blur. A whistle, a reset, a scenario, little rest. Begin, fight. Begin, fight. Begin, fight. Then it was over, and I was dismissed, black and blue, dazed, adrenaline coursing, heart still pounding, covered in sweat, heaving for breath and totally spent. I'd had the absolute shit kicked out of me. At the time, I thought it was tough. When it was the 2 senior instructors who battled 10 raging guys that night. All of us sat in the recovery room afterward, waiting for what we were sure would be an announcement of victory and our long-awaited black shirts. Our teacher entered, quiet as ever. He looked at us deeply, then said calmly, "You all failed." We blinked, unsure we'd heard correctly, shocked. You'll retest in 3 days, at the same time, and that's your choice. Walk away or come back. The scenarios will change, though, and you'll have 2 seconds this time, not 3. Then he left. We sat there in silence. No rage, no excuses. Just defeated acceptance. Something shifted in that 3-day waiting period. Something in each of us cracked. The seriousness dissolved. Rage became relaxation. We trained lightly in the days before the next test. Relaxed, moving with flow. No mind, that's it's called. No one was trying to prove anything anymore. We would all just do. Outcomes. Black shirts. Forgotten. 3 days later, we retested. We were all faster. We all flowed, even though the scenarios were different and still unknown to us. Under more stringent requirements. Time seemed to slow down at that moment. We passed. All of us. When our teacher asked us what made the difference, we all said it in different ways. We let go of the outcome. We relaxed. We kept it simple and trusted ourselves. We succeeded because we simply just let go and performed, devoid of emotion. After being awarded with our black shirts, the teacher said something surprising. He said, "Now forget everything I taught you. Keep only 3 things that work for you in each area of the training you've received. Build your own system, your own truth from that. 10 years of study filtered down into 3 truths that we picked." He called this the perspectives of 3. We were to cut away anything we'd learned that wasn't useful to us personally and focus on 3 core concepts or principles in each category of martial arts from the mountain of training we'd gone through over the years. 3 core concepts of striking, 3 core concepts of knife fighting, 3 core concepts of multiple opponent fighting, armed, unarmed, mixed. 3 core concepts of ward protection, 3 core concepts of ground fighting, etc. From that point, I did just that, and I've since had the opportunity to create my way, my system. I've taught ordinary men and women, special forces operators, airline pilots, business titans, kids. And the cool thing is that all of those people taught me something in return. Here's the point. That test and the cutting away of complexities was the beginning of the perspective of 3. Not a method, a distillation. Not a rule book, a lens which I've applied in every area of my life. Martial, business, family, spirit, etc. Now here I am, an older man with some battle mileage on my odometer. And the mission has shifted toward legacy, the something that I have endeavored to create in this manual to be a benefit to others in the fog, long after I'm gone. Here is the premise from my experience and how it might help you. Anything you face can be reduced to 3 core truths, 3 elements, 3 foundations. Anything. The complex will always try to pull you away. Life, what you're taught, is full of unnecessary complexities, complexities which increase the fog around you. Your job is to return repeatedly to simplicity, to simple truths. This field manual will show you and remind you how to get back home to simplicity, to the core, to the three: the eagle, the wolf, the sword, to your core authentic self. The pages ahead are not just philosophy. They are a weapon, a manual for men, a field guide for men, a reminder that in the modern world of noise, indulgence, and confusion, it is still possible to walk the path of the warrior, not one who conquers others, but one who conquers himself. I've stood where you stand, as Marcus Aurelius famously said, and I will continue to do so as long as I breathe. I've walked this path you're on. I've stumbled on it. I live it with you now, and I offer this manual as a companion to you, not as a voice from above, but as a fellow traveler in the fog, one with rusty and dented armor. The perspective of three is a Stoic warrior's working field guide. You'll find parables, points, historical examples, and gut check prompts along the way. Ponder them. There is also a 30-day action plan and journal to help you get back in sync. At the end of this manual, there are 3 letters. One of them is just for you. This manual is not theory. This is practice. Read it like a soldier reads orders. Reflect on it like a monk studies scripture. Above all, live it. I make no promises. Those are entirely up to you. The promises you make to yourself. But know this: I am in the fog just like you. And maybe my experiences can help you find the path again. Coming up next, Part 1, The Frame.